Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel where we cover all kinds of things from hiking and outdoors, RVing in our Airstream Garfield, and birding, which is what today's video is all about.
You might be wondering, why are we wearing so much indoors? Because we're still recovering from COVID.
Yeah,
we got hit one after another.
We got hit recently by COVID, first me and then Jen, and needless to say, this got us super stir crazy. We've been stuck in the house, just recovering, and just really wanted to get out. So we thought this weekend would be a good time for us to get out. We had very ambitious plans to go to Mud Lake and maybe to the nearby quarry and see if we could spot the peregrines if they're still around. And after we woke up and got moving around and feeling pretty tired still, we said, okay, let's compromise and do some car birding, where we just drive around and see what we can see from the car and don't maybe get ourselves sick again by going overly ambitious. So as people who love the outdoors and hiking and all kinds of like adventurous stuff, car birding is not something we do a lot of. So I really didn't know where to begin. So I went on Google and I looked up where to go car birding in Ottawa, and I found the site that I'll link down below, Ottawa Naturalists, and there's a great list of birding locations, and very cool, they have a little car beside some of them, which I believe means it's a good spot for car birding. So I just looked at that website, went through a bunch of these car birding spots, and I quickly settled on a spot not too far from us, just south of the Ottawa airport.
When we first arrived there, it was pretty... I think that spot looked pretty promising, even though we didn't see a soul in terms of bird souls. And it was really closed up by the roadside. Like
yeah, the bushes came right in.
Yeah,
I think it was more of a spot you're supposed to get out and hike maybe. I'm not sure.
But it's the car bird.
It's supposed to be, but I don't know.
I think the thing is, it's a road. It's literally on the side of the road. So I'm in different section of the road, right? So we actually turn around and drive back a little bit.
Yeah.
So there was some open up, and right there, we saw our very.
That was pretty lucky, right? As soon as we got into the open area, boom. I see a raptor, not sure what it is.
I thought it was a turkey vulture.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure too. It you know, soaring, slight dihedral, dark and silvery underneath. Anyway, very lucky sighting of what turned out to be a rough-legged hawk.
A dark morph. It's our first time seeing the rough-legged in the Ottawa area. And a dark morph. I never seen a dark morph before. He really looked like a turkey vulture underneath.
Yeah, really contrasting underwing of dark and light. Yeah. But after a moment, the bird started to do something akin to hover hunting. So we started, like
the
first,
fly and everything is different.
Yeah, his flying was really not that wobbly. The circles were quite a bit tighter than a turkey vulture, and then he started to face in the wind and just kind of hover there. And we're like, okay, that's not a turkey vulture. Then we got some better looks and figured out this is a rough-legged hawk we're looking at.
Is my voice very low?
Quite distant. Yes, yes, it's really low. But he is quite distant, but then he did come and give us some flyovers. So, and you can see that there's some pretty decent look at the underwing here, and pretty much a rough-legged hawk. So this was an exciting, pretty promising.
Really lucky though, right away we saw
really
that.
Lucky, right? Really encouraging, because sometimes you can go
and there's nothing else. We still didn't see anything else.
I'll put the checklist down below. We did see a few crows and a raven and an unspecified duck, which was too far away for us to identify. So that was our fairly lackluster checklist with the highlight of the rough-legged hawk. So from here I had to figure out where to go next. So I went back to the website and I looked up, there was a spot on the website called Wall Road, which is way across the other side of town. And I picked this spot for a couple reasons. First, probably the least practical reason, which is my style a little bit, but it was pretty close to Avalon Lake, which had been popping up recently in the on the rare bird discords for pectoral sandpiper, white-rumped sandpiper, and greater yellowlegs in this Avalon Lake area. And this spot's close relative to where we are to this spot. Even though there was probably zero chance we were going to go to Avalon Lake that day, and we didn't, that was one of my reasons for picking it. The other reason, which was a lot more practical, was based on where we were in Ottawa, quite far south, getting there would not take us through the city. It would keep us in southern rural Ottawa, which I felt like we might have a better chance of seeing some stuff since we'd be out of the town.
Which we did.
Which we did. So we're cruising along down the street and Jen says the key words, "There's something in that tree that's interesting," something like that. She's really good when we're birding, when we're driving and birding, because if she's not sure, she won't say anything. So when she says that, that means for me, safely pull over as quickly as possible, which is what I did.
Could be a garbage bag, or it could be a golden eagle. You never know.
That's happened to us once, where she thought it was a garbage bag, didn't say anything, and it was a golden eagle. This one wasn't though, and I saw the bird pretty quickly after she said it. I thought, oh yeah, there's a red tail in that tree. I pull over. I was driving, so I didn't make a good idea at all. But once we're pulled over,
Cooper's hawk.
Yeah, pretty good sized Cooper's hawk, tucked into a tree.
Mature Cooper's hawk.
Mature, I believe, yeah. Tucked into a tree. Pretty hard to get a clear shot of this fellow. He was behind a bunch of branches, looking around, seemed to be maybe hunting or surveying the area. But because of the bad view, because of the obstruction, I thought, okay, I'm going to do a quick U-turn, put you on the side to have a good look at him. And so I did, but shortly after, he took off. He
the
flew
blue jay
up.
spotted him, and I felt like he didn't like the blue jay just surrounding him and yelling. So it wasn't mobbing, it was just too much yelling. He felt like not good for hunting, so he left.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And then he glided down into the field across the street and we lost sight of him. But that was a nice look at a Cooper's hawk, which again, turned out to our route turned out to be pretty good. So I was kind of really excited by that. So we were still not even halfway to my target of Wall Road. So we carried on, kept driving through the countryside. And our next spot, our next random sighting was was on Trim Road near the intersection of Navan Road. I spotted, I was pretty sure right away that was a harrier, just low and slow over a field. It was a gray ghost working the field. So again, quickly and safely pulled over, grabbed the camera, and started shooting some shots of this lovely gray ghost.
And he got something. We couldn't see, but based on how he dove down to the ground and jiggle, then lost sight of it.
He kind of came up, a couple bit of feathers came up, and then that was it. He was down there.
Soft feather?
Well, like his wing went, after he went down, there was a little bit of motion. And he was kind of a little pop up, and then it was just nothing. He was down below the whatever was in that field. And this was an exciting gray ghost for us because we've seen some of these fellas down at Amherst Island, but we've never seen one right here in the Ottawa area. So that was a brand new kind of a local first for us to see a gray ghost. Finally, after this, we kept on cruising to our location, turned onto, I think it was called Wall Road, a really well-maintained gravel road. So we were off the paved roads and onto what felt like more of the back road, which is pretty exciting because that sometimes means you're going to see some better stuff. We got into the position that was recommended on the website and we saw, I don't want to say nothing, but we saw nothing. We saw thousands of Canada geese in the distance.
Okay, that's something. We see nothing interesting, but so in Ottawa, there is this stream of crows. We live in the west-ish side of Ottawa, so we always see every evening from west, everybody go east. We joke around and call that the Orleans crow.
The Orleans crows, because they're always heading east.
Yeah, but the other day what I noticed is because we were on the east side of Ottawa, all the crows go from east to west. So And I tried to count the crows by about 10 to 15 minutes, like from my house, from my window, there's over 3,000 crows.
Yeah.
And that's a string for hours, so there's like tens of thousands. Now I know from the east side, those crows also go to that magic spot.
This roost, so there's some kind of gigantic roost on the east side of Ottawa, and what we were seeing here.
So one day we're gonna have an episode because we're gonna
find this
down
roost. I
place.
can't imagine the cacophony.
How many crows there would be?
Yeah. So we could see them off in the distance, just like peppering the sky. Again, this time because of our location, they were flying from the east to the west. We assume to this massive roost in Orleans, and a few ducks. So we didn't see. Actually,
we heard it's beside a Costco business center, something like that.
Yeah, if you know where this roost is, or the approximate location of the roost, this huge crow roost here in Ottawa, leave a comment down below, because we definitely want to go and check it out, and just to see the number of crows. I don't hate crows. I think they're really interesting birds. They're social, they're pretty clever. We love owls, so that makes us like crows a little bit less, because crows are really mean to owls on a regular basis. But despite that, I still find them quite interesting. All right, I hope you guys liked this video. I will leave links to the checklists, the very modest checklists that we put in eBirds down in the description below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We don't generally go car birding. Usually we'll be out somewhere exciting on a trail and birding a little bit more in a lively fashion. But as we recover, this was the best we could do. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, click the notify bell so you'll know whenever we upload a new video. And happy birding!